Hi, everybody. Welcome to the Feature Creatures podcast.
Hi.
I'm Bambi Wilde. With me is Raven Carly and our beautiful guest presenter today. We've got Skylar Calico. Whee!
Oh, there's sound bites. Oh, that's fantastic.
I try, hopefully.
Wonderful.
So I got to see you like quite recently.
Yeah.
You came into 2001 to see me. You bought some of my Jackie costumes for your content creation. How did your
Yeah.
Christmas shoot go?
It went fantastic. We actually shot that today. That's why I have like the super um
Christmas
Christmassy
pixie.
makeup on.
It's so cute. Come in close. I want to see. Oh yeah.
Got the white freckles and everything. But no, like it's so funny that like the minute I stop featuring, I finally get a Jackie costume.
Yeah, that is
The minute I'm like, I'm
definitely.
no longer featuring.
But you're gonna get a great use out of it anyways. You know what I mean? It's not like you're
Yeah.
not gonna be using it. It's gonna get plenty of love.
Yeah, it's
Awesome.
definitely, I feel like with content creation and like the amount of conventions I do and things like that, like the Harley Quinn is actually going to get shot by Andy Spade.
Cool.
As soon as he saw that outfit, he's a good friend of mine, and as soon as he saw that, he was like, I want to shoot that. And he's an incredible photographer. So I was like, yeah, Andy, you totally get to like, you get
That was
first pick.
that was a really fun costume. I really loved it, and I actually wanted to. I started doing the Harley Quinn before the Suicide Squad movie came out, so we
Hmm.
used the comic book version of Harley, and I would have given you the hammer, but one of my last. So I made this beautiful big hammer
Yeah,
out of stuff from Michael's. I want to say Hobby Lobby, not Hobby Lobby, but like the
craft
not
store.
the not judgy Hobby Lobby, and I was like, I'd taken it. It had been in my suitcase a million times. I'd like taken it on the road so much. It had like all of these dents in it. And I was at the Oval Office in Green Bay, and I'm like flinging it around my head like this, and the top of it comes off, just narrowly misses. Yeah, the VIP host's head hits the back wall. Everyone's like, woo, and I'm just like left with a stick in my hand, like,
Well,
yay. So yeah, but I can show you how to make a really cool hammer.
Hell yeah.
I remember using that thing when we did the feature swap.
You wore that costume as well? Yeah, I've got a picture of you in it. That's right.
What's
That was
fun?
like COVID.
Oh my God.
So
I, I
you
get
guys,
I get a costume worn by both my moms. This is great.
yeah, it's got all our special feature mummy essence in it. Ooh, that sounded gross, but
It's got that MILF magic.
There is something
essence of feature.
that by the time you were done featuring that you were able to afford to just buy a Jackie costume all willy-nilly.
It's because I hate to say it. It's because I stopped trying to feature. It's because I was like, I'm gonna stop trying to like throw all of my money into this and all of my everything. And I was like, why don't I do what I'm good at?
Right.
Being an idiot on the internet.
But it's really working for you. I don't know if I'd call you an idiot. You're definitely like a little manic pixie. Like
Yeah.
you're definitely like you've gotten into that niche market, you've broken into it, and I think what's made you really popular is that you are so authentically yourself, you
Yeah.
know? Like you're just being yourself. And
It's it's definitely crazy because it's like all the things that I like essentially got bullied for. All the things like being weird and being eccentric and like having short hair and tattoos and like all of the things that I was like, oh, these are really me things. And then somebody would be like, I'm gonna nitpick you about them. And then I like the internet finds it and they're like, we love you for this. And I'm like, what? Are you sure? Like, are you sure? Like,
Well, there's so many more people on the internet.
that are like I
yeah.
identify. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. Especially when I talk about reverse pickpocketing people. It's great.
Reverse pickpocketing.
You ever, okay, so you like you're like walking behind one of your friends and you take their phone out of their pocket and then you hand it to them?
Yeah.
Watch the confusion on their face?
Yes.
Or you put things in their pocket, like you will randomly appear with like a pack of Gushers and everyone's like, I love this.
Or like a bag of cocaine when they're about to go through the TSA, right?
Oh God.
Ah!
Like a little trafficking.
It's fine. Just put it in your prison wallet. It'll be
I would
okay.
never. I would never.
Have you ever seen that movie, Broke Down Palace?
Oh God. You want to talk about? We talk about a fun drug movie, but yes, I've seen Broke Down Palace. It's so fucking. It's so sad.
It is sad.
When she's like, she comes clean to it about it at the end. You don't even know whether it was her, but she takes the blame so that her friend can go free. And she's like, if I tell you it was me, then you're gonna hate me forever. But if I tell you that it wasn't me, then you're not gonna be able to just live your life. Like, ooh, and she gets a fucking cockroach in her ear.
Yeah. Okay, I'm never watching this movie. Thank you so
She
much
gets
for
put
that.
is it a Thai prison? It's Thailand, right? That she gets arrested. It's yeah. So it's like these two girls are backpacking through Thailand, and when they go to leave, they get arrested for drug smuggling, and they're in. It's like their time in the prison. It's yeah, it's really tragic.
That sounds so wholesome. It should be a family movie, and we should have family movie night, and we should definitely.
Claire Danes and Kate Beckinsale. Yeah, yeah, they're
Early
good.
2000s.
Yeah, was really sad. I think that was Kate Beckinsale was that pre
Yep.
fucking vampire movie? What is it? Underworld? Yeah. Wow. All right, so let's get back to the you guys met each other before I knew either of you. Is that right?
Yeah.
Right. So you met each other in Louisiana.
I met you actually I met you before Bambi because I met you right after I started dancing. And I didn't
Okay.
start dancing
In
at that
Michigan.
group,
Okay. And so then when you were in Louisiana, and then you met Skylar. So how did you guys meet?
I was very much a baby dancer. Like Raven was like, when I was a baby dancer, I'm like, no, 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 you were not a baby dancer. You were like, I was 19 and stupid.
I think we're all 19.
And I think I called you a punk rock Tinkerbell.
That's really accurate.
I literally was like, "Oh my God, you're like a punk rock Tinkerbell." And then and then somehow it came up that my boyfriend was a heroin junkie, and you're like, "Bitch, the fuck are you doing?" And that's how Raven became mom. So, like, I'm dating this guy, and she's like, "What the fuck are you doing with your life?" Sorry, but like, what are you doing?
I can fix him. I got home and there was no TV and he was sleeping in the bathtub, but I can change him.
Nailed it right there. Like, absolutely.
Oh. Yeah, I remember. And like really aggressive. I was at a point in my life where I was drinking and really I could be a bitch, and I didn't know her very well, but I was just like, "What the fuck?" Like,
that went away. Not the drinking part, but the being a bitch part, like that.
I think she's
drinking part went
away.
She's
gotten more. I think she's gotten more like diplomatic about it. For sure.
Yes.
Yeah, like you gotta like eventually like you've got to tone it down and learn how to like communicate your displeasure in at least a professional manner. Like, do you know what I mean? It sucks, but you've got to learn how to
face.
I was about to say your face.
Enough
your
Botox
face is
in the
very
world.
loud. Your face is very loud.
Even when you get Botox and you're all like perfect looking, you still do these face twitchy things, like your whole head moves, and I already know, like you do this like squirrel reaction. It's like, so even if your face doesn't like, you're still, yeah.
It's the eyes. It's the eyes.
Yeah. 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 But no, I'm the same. My face still reacts like horribly, but like my face reacts, and then you take a pause.
I'll never forget. It was Miss Exotic, Illinois. Something happened, and I just had this very visceral reaction. And Raven looks at me, and she's like, "Fucking knock it out!" I was like, "Stop! Stop it!
You're being filmed."
Yeah, we were in line. Someone won an award, and like you were clapping, and you turned to look at me, and I was like, "Shut the fuck up," because we were thinking the same thing, and I'm like,
No, there are
not the
cameras.
time.
No, ma'am.
Not
Like,
the time, bitch.
Yeah, that was a stressful time.
oh
Really
God,
stressful.
COVID.
But yeah, and I when you stayed at my house during COVID, then that's when
Yeah, that's when you came and worked for us
Yeah,
in at Lux. Yeah, it was
because
yeah,
Raven
you
had
were
reached
like,
out to me and been like, "Hey, if you ever want to come up and dance," and then COVID hit. Florida was still locked down.
yeah,
Y'all weren't. And I was like, "Hey, like, how much did you mean that? Like, can I come stay at your house for a month?" And like until Florida's unlocked.
yeah. That's right. They stopped letting anybody in, right? You had to have a Florida license.
No, well, it depends. It was more like a lot of the clubs weren't even open and the ones that would open because like you had to serve food. You had to serve
Right. Yeah, you
you
had
had
to
to be
have at
considered
least
a
20
restaurant.
20% of your income had to be food. And
So a
that's when
lot of
a lot of the
clubs
smoking
started
stopped.
yeah,
Yeah.
so a lot of clubs started putting like food trucks out front and things like that, but the customers weren't coming back. We could only have like 50% capacity. We all had
Right.
to wear masks even when on stage. And
Yeah.
it was you know I was like, why are we doing this? That's actually when I started on OnlyFans.
Right.
um
Yeah. I started that's no, that's not true. I started on OnlyFans when I was like in like 2018 when it first
yeah,
came out.
but that's when
That's
I
when I started
started.
making
And
money off it.
but no, I hit Raven up and I was like, hey, can I come? She's like, yeah, message Bambi. And I messaged you and was like, hey, what do I need to come up? And you were like, yeah, just get COVID tested
Right.
and then you can come on up, because I was coming from kind of a hot spot.
Right.
And so I got COVID tested, stayed inside. I was like, nobody's allowed in. I'm please, I need to go
Don't
make
breathe on
money.
me. Yeah. No,
Yeah,
I
it was
remember you were so
young.
like thinking like I wish I could bring up I know that I've got a picture of you somewhere. I wish I'd like sort of had like I only just got home like 30 minutes before the podcast. So like I'm gonna have to find a
Young,
picture
dumb, and
of
blonde.
I'm gonna have to find a picture of like little Skylar when I met you. You were like you weren't like dumb like you were so and we did that three girl shoot together
Yeah.
and it was like the pictures came out great. I wish the photographer was like if you're listening, I don't give a fuck. You shouldn't have been so fucking weird. Like, but the pictures were good and it was a fun, experience. But you could tell then, like, even though you were like you were so shiny, you had like still had like new new girl smell. Do you know what I mean? You were
Yeah.
like you were shiny and the light
Full of
of
piss and vinegar.
the light of opportunity and positivity was radiating through your thigh gap. But like
Funny thing
but
is, I
like
was actually heavier then. I didn't have a thigh gap. Now I do.
you
But like,
You get me. You're like this,
yeah,
like shiny. You were this shiny little, yeah, like bouncy, yeah, long-haired, non-tattooed, like very chipper.
yeah.
But you're still chipper. Do you know what I mean? You've not lost that. Um, but yeah, no, it
Lots of
was.
breaks. Lots and lots of breaks.
But we like everybody loved you. You were great. I mean, it was yeah. Like you're like I don't know, everybody I liked you then and I like you now. It's just like it's character development. You
Yeah.
probably like yourself a lot better now.
I do like myself a lot better now. I think that it's more like it feels more genuine, like that shininess that you talk about, that little bit of
Right,
light, that little bit of like happiness and positivity. My personal life at that time was like kind of a mess, like
right.
really, really, really kind of a mess.
Hmm.
And now like I'm very open about my relationships and things like that. And I have a very healthy environment that I'm in now. And I have an absolutely amazing like support team and family that I've built and all of these things, which is super important. So like it feels more genuine now when I can be like, I'm a little ray of positivity instead
Yeah,
of being like, please believe me, please, please, I'm so broken. I'm
right.
growing. You were still,
Yeah.
and you were going through. I remember at one point, me and Bambi were discussing you, and I was like really upset for you. Like something happened over the phone call. with your person. And she asked me how old you were, and I told her. She goes, she's about right on time.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm
I
not
was like
trying to. That sounds.
23.
It
I
makes
mean, that
sense.
sounds jaded, but it's true. Do you know? Like we've all fucking done it, and like just about all of us are okay. Do you know what I mean? Like you learn by making those mistakes,
It was a
which is
very big
unfortunate.
difference, like that, we're gonna call it a tour. That tour versus like my last travel dancing period,
Hmm.
based on who I was dating. Of like, I remember arguing with my boyfriend at the time on the phone. I was like, can you just like, I haven't seen you in a month. Can you just bring me flowers? Like, I'll pay for the flowers. Can you just bring me flowers when you come pick me up from the airport? Like that would mean the world to me. And he like couldn't even hug me when I got home, like wouldn't even like give me a kiss, nothing, was just like, sup, like I'm too cool for this, you know? And I'm like, shut up, Brandon, fuck. But like, and then I had told my current partner this story of the last time I went travel dancing, and we had like just started dating, and he came in and he had a 6-foot caterpillar, stuffed caterpillar that he had wrapped around his neck. He had my favorite Starbucks drink. He picked me up at 11 o'clock at night and got my favorite Starbucks drink, and like flowers. And dude just looks like he's been through a war getting all of these things, but he's like picking me up from the airport, and I'm just like, oh my God. So, if he wanted to, he would. Thank you. Uh,
Absolutely. Oh.
and that's the number one thing. Like when I had like my little baby strippers that were coming in, I remember this one, well, like one of the last clubs I danced at, and she just started dancing, and she's like, my boyfriend doesn't like that I dance, and you know he's giving me all these problems and being super passive aggressive, but loves the income, loves the money, but like doesn't like that I dance. Yeah, and all these other things. And I literally looked at her, and we're in the dressing room, and she's reading off of her phone this novel.
Mm,
And I looked at her and I said, put that down. Tell him you're going to talk later. You're
yeah.
at work. It's time to go to work. Put that down. Yep. He can go fuck himself for all I care. Like, we're like,
Or
baby
you
girl,
want to
come
just
here.
go up?
Like,
You just want to like move up one and go, I'm not reading all that.
yeah, like you like give me the phone. Give it here. Come here. Like, but like I feel like it's a phase that we all go through
Hmm.
as dancers, especially as baby dancers and things like that, going through like these relationships that they're
Hmm.
like, I hate that you dance. I'm gonna treat you like crap because of it, but I love the money.
Yeah,
Sorry.
that's so fucking. We all right now? But
Don't
you're
worry.
right.
I'm sorry.
It happens all the time. It happens all the time. And
Mhm.
it's like I remember like going through my own shitty relationship and projecting onto another girl who was like I could tell that her boyfriend was the same. I was going through the same fucking thing at the time and I was drinking heavily to get through it at work. And this girl, she was much younger than me, super cute, and like, yeah, had that still shiny, bubbly new girl thing. And she started dating a much older guy. He was a fucking dick, and I could just see it all over him. Do you know what I mean? And I was already like, I already knew the position that I was in because I'd been in it before. It was like this fucking circular thing that I needed to get myself out of. And I'd gotten drunk enough one night when her boyfriend had texted her and she'd said something cute about him. And I'm like, you know, he doesn't give a fuck about you. Like he just like, no, I'm like, he's a piece of shit. He doesn't give a fuck about you. He's only with you because you're hot and you make money and he's gonna make you feel bad about it. And it was like I didn't remember. I was so fucking wasted. I didn't remember like when I did it. And then she said something to me the next day or like the next week. She's like, do you remember what you said to me? And I was like, look, that was about me, and I shouldn't ever talk about somebody else's relationship like that. But it was like not that long later that that whole thing turned to
See,
shit. And
you
I was
are a
like, I called it, and it was terrible that I did that, and I'm sorry to her that for me doing that, but I was
you're a
100%
stronger
right.
woman than I, because I would have just been like, no, I meant every word.
But
Don't be
I
sad.
did, but I did 100% mean every word, but that's still not my fucking place. You know what I mean? She didn't ask
Yeah.
me. Like, if somebody comes to you for advice, that's one thing. But if, like, somebody's actually, like, having a moment and they're, like, happy with their fucking awful situation, then you just let them learn. Like, it's not anybody else's business unless they fucking ask,
Yeah.
you know? Yeah. So, how long, were you a dancer for? Like, in the clubs?
Oh God. On and off. I started at 18, so like
Mhm.
on and off for 8 years.
Okay. So I met you
You
at, like,
know.
5 years.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But again, like I'd take long periods off. I'd come back. I'd switch clubs. I never. Excuse me. After Crazy Horse, I never really had like a home club anymore.
Mhm.
I tried to have a couple of different home clubs, and it never really just sat the same way. So I'd like bounce here, bounce there, and like do a lot of like modeling gigs and stuff on the side. But I really fit more in with content creation than like stripping.
When did that click for you?
It really like took off this year.
Mhm.
I did really well in the beginning. I, chilled out, and then I got into fetish modeling,
Right.
um, and fetish videos and things like that, and basically went, I can do this all myself. I can do this better myself.
Right.
Oh, I could do like hardcore videos with whoever I wanted
Right.
better, and then I went viral.
Yeah.
3 times in rapid succession, and it was hell on my mental health, but it was great. And I blew up from like, let's percentage wise, I'm in the top, 0.1% now. I was in the top 10% then in
Mhm.
the beginning of the year, and it was just this like rapid escalation with no warning, no like. I always said like, oh, I'll get my mental health together and then I'll do really well. And no, life doesn't happen that way. Like,
No.
we're working on the mental health aspect now.
Yeah.
Um,
So what
so
was
it
it
was,
turning, what was helping for you? What was helpful for you, like, to try and get a handle on it? Because you would have gone from, like, posting regularly because you have to, and then all of a sudden you would have had all of these messages. You would have been inundated with, like, responses, and all of a
yeah,
sudden there's that pressure to
it was,
create.
it was kind of a slow escalation. We ramped up production
Mhm.
to pretty much, I'm on a bit of a break right now.
Mhm.
Because we were at one point shooting every single weekend, 2 to 3 videos a weekend, 3 to 5 photo sets,
Right.
with 20 plus photos each.
Right.
And this is all in-house. Like my partner is my photographer, my editor, my videographer. I have a
He's really
secondary
good.
videographer that I pay. Yeah, he's great.
Yeah, I love all your shit. It's like, it's really cute. It's very
Yeah.
you. He, like, yeah. Your stuff is beautiful and
It's
it looks like you.
he's like if he did not do the quality that he did, I say that I have a monopoly on my content now, and I have
Right.
a monopoly on me. I don't really work with a bunch of other like videographers or photographers or anything anymore because he's got me down so much of I don't like being overly photoshopped.
Right.
I don't touch my face. If the scar is there, leave the scar there. If the freckle's there, leave the freckle there. Birthmark, blah blah blah. If there's a weird shadow, that's a different story,
Right.
but like we're playing with light, we're not playing with facial features or
Right.
body features.
Right.
Um if I can't do it in posing, don't do it in post. But where was I going with that? Yeah, so we rapidly like escalated production, and then I had a pretty good handle on it for a good 3 months, and then I
Mhm.
tried to hire an assistant,
Mhm.
and I actually tried to hire 2 assistants, and the
Mhm.
problem was, you ever seen two bottoms try to like figure shit out? All right, and one of them sitting like, you ever seen two girls flirt and they're like, oh my god, you're so pretty. Oh my god, you're so pretty too. Okay, bye. Right?
Yeah.
Like nobody knows how to engage. That's how it was. Is I needed somebody who was more self-starting. So
Right.
what happened was we were shooting and we went to. I live at a nudist resort and there's a clubhouse that you can go hang out at. And
Right.
there's like 3 or 4 porn stars that hang out there.
Right.
I would say like I'm now included in that roster, even though I'm a content creator. I'm not a porn star. Big difference. I don't work for other people.
Woo!
So that's the only difference. That's literally the only difference. We all create the
Right,
same shit. I just don't work for other people. I don't like other people. I don't play well with others. I like doing my own shit.
right.
Um, so
So you
I
met the
sit
porn
down
stars.
and yeah, so I sit down and at the table and Danny Daniels is there, who's a AVN winning trans porn star,
Right.
and she looks at me and she goes, "Bitch, you look so fucking stressed out." And I was like, "Well, thank you, Danny." And she is like, we start talking and she goes, "Do you have an agency?" And I went, "No, I'm really trying to do it all myself. I really don't want an agency. I don't like want, I've talked to a couple agencies and they want to take over every single little aspect. I want to aim more on that assistant side." And
Right,
she opens her phone, calls the CEO of my agency now, which is Transcending, which is actually trans owned and operated.
right,
And I talked to Matt, and he's like, "Yeah, we can do as much or as little as you want. Like, you will have full control of everything that we do.
right,
Here's the contracts. Here's everything. Bada bing, bada boom. You have, 17,000 different ways to contact us. You can call me directly. Yada
right,
yada yada." And it went from, "Oh my God, this is crushing. This is overwhelming. I can't keep up," to, "What do I do with my life now? I have so much free time." Like I chip in here, there, they ask me questions, I answer, blah, blah, blah. But it's not just like, the problem was all of these, "Hey, can I get this video? Hey, can I get this video? Hey, can I get this video?" Hey, like the plug and play stuff that
right,
just takes, I could get through 100 messages a day and there'd still be another 400 the next day.
right,
And I'm like, I need to clone myself. Like I can't do it.
right.
So
Yeah,
they've been fantastic. Like, so great.
right. And you still create, do you still make customs?
I do customs. I do customs on a way less frequent basis,
Right,
at a way higher rate.
right.
Like, I didn't realize I was not charging enough for customs until they were like, "So this is what we recommend you charge." I'm like, "Is anyone gonna buy it that rate?" And they're like, "Yeah." And then all of a sudden I had 5 custom requests the first week and I was like, "Oh,
Right,
okay." And they're like stupid simple ones. I was
right.
totally expecting like balance on your head, one leg up in the
Shoot
air
fireworks
while
out of your
doing
pussy.
somersaults,
Yeah.
like, like, I'm not sure that's physically possible, sir.
I get really simple requests. Like, and it's, I all ignore, but to be fair, I get like the normal one, dumb ones as well, which I just fucking ignore. Like, everyone wants to see how big I can stretch my asshole and shit like that, which I just fucking ignore. But like, they all want to see you fuck something scary, whatever, I get it. But, like I get someone once, like frequently purchases pictures of the back of my throat.
Okay.
Yeah.
Uvula.
Yeah, they're a little dangly thing that swing in the back of my throat. Um,
I I want to sit down with these people sometime and be like, "So what was your turning point for this fetish in your life? Like, what trauma did you go through
What
that
was
you were like, yeah, it's
offensive?
the uvula that does it for me?"
what was that moment when you realized you liked those little dangly things?
Maybe it's a dentist.
A dentist. I kind of
Could
hope not.
be.
I hope not. I don't want to think like that.
Guy with a foot fetish is actually a podiatrist.
I mean, yeah. Yeah.
I
It's
don't get that many fetish customs, surprisingly, for somebody who did fetish for so long.
That's interesting because
I
I'm
really
like the
like,
least fetish looking person, I think. But yeah, I get. But to be fair, they're the only ones that I give any fucking time to. Do you know what I
yeah,
mean? Like I like,
I
and it's the
get,
same with customers because I spend more. I'm not a full time content creator at all. It was a side gig, and I started making money off it during COVID. And I have so much of a back catalog because I was a model for so long that I got ownership of most of my nudes and I needed somewhere to put them. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
So OnlyFans was perfect for that, but it's moved on from that, and people want more pornographic, explicit shit. And I don't do boy girl. I don't like, so a lot of it is just like it's really from it's like somewhere for my fans from featuring and like Playboy and Penthouse. It's somewhere for them to go. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
So it's not really ever gonna be the way that you do it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, the thing that was surprising to me in like the boy girl aspect is like I worked with a couple of male creators, and then I realized nobody cares. Nobody cares who the guy is. So
Oh
in
yeah.
99% of the
Unless it's
videos,
their content. Right.
unless it's
Yeah.
their content, they want
Right.
to see their content. But
Right.
like nobody cares, and it's all my partner, who
Right.
is like, y'all have both met him, very supremely average looking. You know,
He's
I'm
a
like, I
teddy
love
bear.
him. He's
Vanilla.
a giant teddy bear, but
He's
it works
adorable
to
and
my advantage. It works
right.
to my advantage because he looks so like all of my fans, like all of
Right.
my,
Yeah.
you know, like he doesn't have that unobtainable six pack and that, you know, like he looks like a guy that you'd meet, a guy that you could be. It's
Right.
fucking great, you know? Like,
Right.
that's what I mean about supremely average. I do not mean, I just mean he's kind of plug and play for like, oh my god, step bro, oh my god, you know, random neighbor, you know, like,
He could be modeling those like those guys t-shirts
yeah.
that come yeah. Yeah, I get it. Yeah,
I
he's
feel like
very
those guys that those creators, the dudes that they make themselves feel like they're a big deal because they want to feel like they're a big deal, and honestly their following's mostly gay men.
Unless
And
you're girth master, nobody cares. Like,
he's pretty funny. He's like
so most male creators actually make most of their income based off of the females that they work with.
mhm.
They make like guys come to see all the different hot girls
mhm.
that they can bang, but at the end of the day, like their solo content doesn't sell. My solos sell better than my boy girls.
Right.
Everybody loves to see me fuck tentacles. I don't know what it is.
They want to see you they want to see you fuck something scary. That was
Yeah.
so there was a stripper back like Huntress Thompson wrote about her. Her name was Bambi. I did not know this until I read it later. I had already been called myself Bambi, but yeah, there's a quote. She's like, she used to work in San Francisco, and she talks about it. She's like, my pussy is my ticket to ride. Men want to see me fuck something scary. She fucking nailed it. This is like 30
Yeah.
years ago. Do you know what I mean? Like it's
Yeah.
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 So yeah, it's they do. They want to see
I will say my
like
fans are like the sweetest. Like I really it's all about how you play it because people are so mean on the internet. I'm like, and they're not paying.
yeah,
They're not
100%.
paying.
Yeah.
Like the ones that pay me usually are like, "Hey Skylar, I hope you're having a good mental health day. Did you drink water?" And I'm like, "I love you. I love you so much. Thank you for reminding me. Oh my god, that's great. Thank you so much." Like,
Can people ever see you live? Do you ever like do live streaming?
I was doing them weekly and then like life got crazy.
Mm-hmm.
But my live streams are, I don't want to say legendary, but fucking legendary because like if I had to talk about my branding, it'd be like gamer bro with tits.
Right.
You know? And we had this one that we had a game called Don't Talk About Grandma.
Oh my god.
Because
I'm gonna need you to elaborate.
Somebody came into the live stream and they're like, I'm watching this for my grandma's funeral, right? I don't know whether they actually were. If they were, kudos to you, bro. Hope grandpa got some. But like, so they just kept going with it. And my chat is very, very active. They're very playful. We have this whole kind of like 30-minute segment until tips get up to a certain point and then the action starts that we're just chatting, cracking jokes, talking about Canadian war crimes, whole bunch of shit. And so then it became a joke and everyone's like, oh man, Ethel, yeah, she could really give that Gluck Gluck 9000, like all kinds of shit talking about this hypothetical grandma. But then the tips got up there and I'm like, okay, so the stream needs to start, like
Right.
the action of this. And I'm like, all right, guys, you got to stop talking about grandma. And they keep going, keep going, keep going. And I'm like, no, really, you got to stop talking about grandma. I like can't get into it now.
I can't
They're
fuck myself.
yeah. So it's like, if you guys stop mentioning grandma for 5 minutes, then I will begin the show.
Wait.
Somebody would drop a $50 tip at the 4-minute and 30-second mark, and this went on for like an hour, right? Like, different person each time, and they just say, so what about grandma?
Wow.
So we had a game called Don't Talk About Grandma. Like, you know how some live streamers will be like, oh my god, guys, yeah, if you do this, then I'll fuck myself. I was like, please just stop mentioning grandma. Please, I'm begging you. I say with silver hair. Canadian war crimes come up a lot. All kinds of like weird, like I run mine.
They
like
want to
Twitch
pretend
stream.
like they're innocent, but they are not.
Yeah, yeah. We know, you polite fucks.
We know what you did.
We know what you did.
Yeah.
Uh,
Wow. So you
yeah.
have got to be it sounds like you've like really found your niche market and you've really found your people. And
I love it. I yeah, very much so.
so what's next? What's the next step?
Obviously, like I'm opening up girl collaborations again.
Mm-hmm.
After AVN, I'm going to AVN.
Cool.
By the way, and gonna try not to get overstimulated by Vegas. But I get to do.
You just got to embrace it. Like the first time I went to Vegas, I made a bunch of videos, and I realized that there was no way that I wouldn't be able to be I wouldn't be able to deal with that.
Yeah.
And there's a video of me from like I don't know 8-9 years ago, and it's the first time in Vegas. I'm like, I wanted to do this. I have this whole list, but now I can't. And Vegas has me. It has me, and there's nothing I can do about it. Like it's you can't avoid it. You just have to go and embrace it. Do you know what I mean? Like go and know for that first day that you've got to not have anything done. Like just go and ride the fucking roller coaster or get a tattoo.
We're going for a test run, like for New Year's.
Right.
So my partner does.
That's
stuff.
A better idea.
Yeah.
Because then you can go. You know where you're going, and you can go and go for work. Because the next time I went, we were so inundated with like responsibility because we were there for expo, so it was like, oh, I don't get to do any of this cool shit. So I was really glad that Corey actually took me to
the cool
Vegas.
thing about going as a content creator and not as somebody who's trying to get into production is I get to tell everyone to fuck off.
Yeah.
I get to, producers or agents or whatever come up to me and I go, no.
Do you know
I'm good. I make more on my own.
No, you're right. Do you know what's fucking crazy to me? Is we were at, I don't know if we should mention which one we were at, but we were at an event, which is like a combination of like porn stars and showgirls, right? And there was an agent and stuff there, and there was a really attractive, I don't remember her name because I'm a little bit out of the loop as far as like the newest porn stars, but she was a porn star and she was there. And I was asking her if she was going to be performing, and she's like, well, I have to ask my boss. And I'm like, your boss? Who's your boss? And she points it at an agent who I am also represented by, or I was. And I'm like, baby girl,
they
honey,
work for you.
That is not your boss. Like, who is telling you that that's your fucking boss? Like, if he doesn't have you, he doesn't get money. Like, he can't, who is he fucking bossing? Like, you... I hate how twisted they get that. Like they make these people come in and think that they're so like that they work for them. Like it's the other way around, mate.
It's very like even like my agency. It definitely one of the very strict rules that I made was like this is a symbiotic relationship. Yeah. Absolutely, but understand like without me, and I have a contract that I can pull at any time. We don't know, like, it's not you're telling me what to do. It can be suggestions and it can be requests and things like that, but it's not, and they are specifically not a talent agency. They are a social media agency and things like that.
Yeah, it's different.
So it's very, very different. But like again, with Danny, we were in her hot tub and we went to dinner and we were in her hot tub and she's like prepping me. She's like, okay, so AVN, like be prepared. You're gonna be the hot new thing. People are gonna want
To
all
shoot with
of
you.
your meat and be prepared to tell a lot of people to fuck off. Like,
Yeah.
And
you are going to start to get caught up in the shits and be like, but I could, and I could, and I could. Be prepared to not shoot. And so, like, I don't even know that I'm going to show up talent tested just
Right.
because that way I don't get bulldogged into anything. And if anyone ever asks you to shoot and says it's fine if you're not talent tested, I want you to walk away
Oh
immediately.
yeah. 100%.
Immediately.
Yeah. Yeah. But you don't like.
please be very careful with any unopened drinks that are offered to you.
Yeah, so I'm also bringing my partner, and
Yeah.
his entire role is handler.
Right.
Like, it's less, usually he's more my video and photo guy, but I have had him handle me at a couple of events, and he's been a stage manager
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
for a lot of events. He runs raves for other things. Like, the man is a jack of all trades, and it's fabulous.
Well,
Mm-hmm.
you know,
And
It's sexy. I love it when men are useful.
yes.
Well, it's the sexiest thing they can be. I'm not sorry
Yeah.
for it.
No, when
Yeah.
you have a partner that you love and they support your dreams and are like, here are my skills that I can,
Yeah.
know,
And they
like,
can actually work on creating those dreams with you and for you. Yeah, that's hot.
So he is definitely like, I'm debating getting him a Skylar security shirt
Yeah.
and be like, it's just gonna say daddy across the front. It's gonna be fine.
Yeah. Just it's absolutely. I think you'll be okay. Like
Yeah.
you've been to Exotica, and I know that like the avians are a lot more. It's central around that one.
Yeah.
It's
And
it's
it's a
more
lot more networking
isolating.
at
Yeah,
like,
right.
I feel like Exotica was
It's fan
more
based.
fan-based. AVN is fan-based. It's open to the public, but it's a
Mhm.
lot of networking. And
Right.
I'm going just to meet my team, to meet like a couple of stars that I've chit-chatted with, but never gotten to meet face to face, like,
Right.
and to have a tax write-off.
You'll love it. We'll have so much fun.
Yeah.
Oh, it's gonna be
No,
a
it's
blast.
gonna be
I'm
great.
I'm
You're gonna
so
meet some really
excited.
cool people.
I can't
Yeah.
wait to see what you wear.
It's gonna be fabulous.
I know.
Like, I will send you pictures of what it looks like
That
because
sounds
it is, oh, it's great.
Aww.
I'm excited
But
for you.
no, speaking of Exotica, holy, like I've told this story. Can I tell this story of
The
like Bambi
story.
giving me the come to Jesus
Oh, when you were sitting on my lap.
when I was sitting
What
on your
was
lap?
it? 3 years ago?
It was, yeah, 3 years ago now.
Yeah.
Almost 2.5.
Yeah.
July 17th would be 3 years.
Aw.
So I was a little junkie, little riffraff, running around doing fucking drugs that I shouldn't, dating guys I shouldn't, shit like that. And I went to Exotica Miami. And I was dating this guy that I shouldn't, and he cheated on me while I was there. And I remember, like, it was Sunday that I came to the floor, and I was like,
Yes.
barely put together. I see Bambi shooting with like 2 or 3 different photographers, and I just go, like, fall the fuck apart.
Yeah.
And she's like, oh God, oh no, okay, hold on, 5 minutes.
Yeah, he kind of sat on my lap.
He sat me next to,
Yeah.
and like sat me on your lap and are like, this is your moment, kid. This is your moment. Clear your fucking life up. Stop doing dumb shit. Like, knock it off. Knock it off.
He is
You
not going
know?
to get any better.
It is not gonna get...
This is
And
going
then
to
you're
be
like,
it.
the best part is then you're like, now go to the dungeon. Go.
Go off to the dungeon.
Go.
Lay on the bed.
And I did. I went to the dungeon and I got like tied up and spanked all day just so that way I didn't relapse.
It's good therapy.
So, I had my come to Jesus moment with drugs on the lap of a Playboy playmate at a porn convention.
How perfect. Perfect. It's better than so many others. Like,
right?
some people are like, I woke up in a pool of my own vomit outside, like, at the back of a dumpster. Do you know what I mean? Like, fuck.
I think I don't know. We've kind of trauma jumped on you a lot, enough to
Yeah.
like. I feel like the things that you, as you were growing and like learning all of these lessons, that you didn't go too far into them. You always kind of pulled yourself back before it got like,
Thank goodness, because I look
Yeah.
at pictures of myself and I'm like, oh no, oh no.
yeah,
I think you are a lot more self-aware than you give yourself credit for, because like, even when you know that you are unhappy, like, it's like you made that decision. Nobody turned around and said that to you. Do you know what I mean? You knew you were unhappy.
Yeah,
You knew you needed to make changes before anybody else said them to you. You just needed, you know,
the kick in the
you really,
ass.
you just, it's not even that you needed a kick in the ass. You just needed like a supportive person to be like, yeah, you deserve better than this, you know? That's really
Yeah.
all it was.
And that's
And
something that I feel like is so lost in like strip clubs now is like when I was kind of first coming up, we kind of had this like, okay, somebody would take you under their wing and they'd be kind of like a mom to you and they'd be like, don't do that, you dumb bitch. Like, don't, no, you know, you get slapped upside the head at least twice and called a dumb bitch. But like it taught you what to do, what not to do, the etiquette that is
Mhm.
so unspoken
hmm
But it
in
protects you. It protects all of
it
us.
it protects you, it protects all of us, it protects you from like getting into fights, it protects you from rubbing the wrong person wrong.
Yeah.
It protects you from really dangerous situations with people who want to do bad,
Yeah.
et cetera. And I feel like, as especially post COVID, as I was in the clubs and things like that, and one of the reasons I knew like I kind of had to get out of the clubs was that's not there anymore. That's not, you don't see the camaraderie and the like being a stripper mom and having your little baby stripper that you're like, come here, little one, I'll protect you, my little duckling. It's not there. Girls are just like, because we're all scrabbling over,
It depends on where you're at.
$300 that's in the
Yeah.
club right now. And I remember when I used to cry, I used to boo-hoo sob going home with $300.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah. But it's like, I don't know, like, it depends on where you're at. And it
yeah.
depends on your management. Because, yeah, there's so many clubs. It's like, the fact of the matter is that, yeah, there's so many clubs failing right now. But not all of them. Some of them are fucking killing it. And some of them are expanding. And you look around and you can tell, like, I've always said this, pretty happy girls can go anywhere. And so when your
hmm
club is full of pretty happy girls, you know that the management is treating them well because they don't gotta stay.
I remember this one club I danced at in Dayton, Ohio. They basically like assigned stripper moms
Oh, wow.
and they would give you free house if you took a baby stripper under your wing and kind of showed her the ropes, and it would be free house for like a couple of weeks or a
Yeah.
night or whatever, but
Yeah.
it was like, hey, we have a newbie, kind of show her the ropes and here's free house.
I like
That's a
that.
great idea, but also really dangerous. You just have to know, like,
You have to know the
whoever's,
girls, and like the
yeah,
manager would come up to the girls personally
right.
and be like, hey, we understand that this might like pull away from some dances that you're doing, so like here's to compensate, you know,
Right.
um, having that kind of mentorship. And I ended up for like two different girls. And I
Yeah.
was traveling at the time, but like, like I was there for a month. Uh, two different girls had like, come here, let me show you. Let me show you something, you know?
Yeah. But that was a paid position at the club that I used to work at in New Zealand. I,
Yeah.
I, I did it for two clubs back home, and they paid me for that. Like, so it's not like I had to rely on, like, here you would have to rely on the girl tipping you. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
But like, it was a pay thing that I did. I did it in my own time, and then at the beginning of a shift, and you show the girl around and how to do a lap dance and all that kind of stuff. But I would do every Sunday. We would have like a stripper jam. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
And they could come and learn pole tricks, but they could come and learn hustling tricks. They
I've
could
seen
talk about
some
problems.
clubs try to put it with like pole tricks. like try
Yeah.
to put together with pole tricks. I think hustling tricks, it would be so amazing to like try and present that. It would
Yeah.
cut down on a lot of extras. It would cut down on a lot of like different things because, you
A
know,
lot of
I've
customers
talked to,
walking out feeling like they've been used like an ATM.
yeah,
Like,
I've talked to so many girls and I'm like, so do you know how to give a lap dance? Do you know how to entertain someone without like presenting any of that? You know, like
right,
I'm a naked fucking comedian. Like,
right.
do you know how to crack jokes? How good are you at cracking jokes? Come, let me teach you some jokes.
Yeah, you want
Like,
them to leave happy. Like, you want them
yeah,
to leave, like, with all the money gone from their pockets, but you want them to be happy about it.
yeah.
Because
I mean,
then they'll
unless
come
they want
back.
a dominatrix and they want a fin dom and they
Well,
want you to treat
yeah,
them
but
like the
then
goddamn trash they are.
they
Like,
request that. Do you know what I mean? They request that, and it's very
yeah,
clear, and that's all consensual. So
yeah,
it's like, for me, it's like I feel like there's this generation, and it's not just dancers; it's everybody. But it's a whole like culture right now. The
mm-hmm.
fuck you pay me culture, which we'll talk about,
Yes,
right? And it's like entertainers would rather, and it's honestly not just strippers, it's fucking everybody. But and you see it in every customer service based commission based like job. But
mm-hmm.
strippers, it's like, baby, you might make $3,000 out of this guy tonight, and you will never see him again.
Or
If
you
you
can make
treated him right,
30,000 in the long run.
you could make $1,500 out of him every fucking week until you retire if you do it
Mm-hmm.
right. Do you know what I mean? And so what's better? And I just don't like it's obvious to me, and it's always been obvious to me, but it just doesn't seem to be obvious
One
to
of my
everyone.
favorite regulars of all time, one of my best regulars of all time, Raven knows who I'm talking about. Raven didn't like him, but I liked him.
Oh, well, that's all that matters.
He pulled me into VIP, got an hour-long VIP the first time we ever met, and he's like, "What would you do with $1 million?" And I was like, "I don't want that kind of responsibility." I'm like 20
You
years old. I'm like,
bitch.
I just want a cat. I don't want that kind of responsibility. And he literally like gave me money and he said, go adopt yourself a cat. And then became like
Aw.
one of my like best regulars
But if
ever
but what if you'd
until I
answered
moved
right and he
away.
gave you $1 million?
It was his test. Like he wanted to hear what a girl was going to do. And like,
Right.
I guess he was just looking for somebody who was just, he became my regular and he was like, nope. My name was Calico at the time. I got Calico. I'm
Hmm.
good. And I'm
Hmm.
like, oh, and he bought me a cat and it was great.
That's pretty cute. That's pretty
There's
cute.
a reason I didn't like him.
What's the
Um,
reason?
it was a medical experience.
A medical experience? You're gonna have to
A,
elaborate.
a
I'm
bag,
pretty sure.
the
No, no,
Oh,
no.
he had a. Oh, what's
the
wrong
egg
with that?
rolls, the Southwest egg rolls exploding.
Oh, no. Oh,
The trauma.
oh, girl. All right. God damn it.
Yeah,
Talking about wheelchair.
yeah.
Ugh.
Those guys need love too.
He was one of
Well,
my
no,
favorite humans.
it was fine. No, I gave this guy a room and like right before, because he was over at another club. Um, it was another time. But right before we did the room, we had eaten some egg rolls, right? Whatever. And he was disabled. He was in a wheelchair. He was completely
Paralyzed from the waist down.
yeah.
Hmm.
So we go do this room and I'm dancing around him and I'm like, I don't know how the fuck I'm supposed to do this, but he's just happy with it. So I'm like, cool, cool, cool. Like stepping around, everything's fine. Well, I started smelling something and I was like, what the? I didn't want to say anything because I didn't
Hmm.
realize what had happened.
Hmm.
But once he realized it, he asked me to leave, and I
Uh-huh.
realized that I had accidentally kicked off his colostomy bag. So
Oh
it was
my God. Oh. So that's not his fault. That's your fault.
No, that wasn't why. But that wasn't why. But yeah, so that happened, and I can't eat egg rolls anymore. I'll never
Oh,
forget that smell.
So
Which,
with him, he really liked to cuddle. Like he would tell
right.
me to go to the
Yeah.
back and go put clothes on because it was really
Uh-huh.
cold back there sometimes. He'd be like,
Hmm.
"Go to the dressing room, go put clothes on, go get dressed."
he wasn't like that with most girls, though.
Yeah.
Right.
Just to get that
Yeah.
straight, because he was very um he had a thing for girls that looked very, very young.
Right.
Yeah. I was 20 and
Right.
very baby faced. I was very baby faced until 25.
Hmm. I mean, you're still pretty baby faced.
Mhm.
Thanks.
You
I
are.
try.
You've got a cutie thing going. Very kawaii. Yeah.
I,
Say that to my squishmallows.
Konnichiwa. Kawaii desu ne.
I love
Ah, Pikachu. Kawaii.
Oh. I very much embraced it, like the e-girl thing, the
Hmm.
everything.
her.
Um, I remember, the first competition I ever did, everyone was like, "You're gonna do a K-pop like show, aren't you?" And I was like, "No, I'm gonna do something cooler. I'm gonna do Pokemon."
You did a great Pokemon show.
It was adorable. It was like
It
so
was
Amazon
good.
put together, but so cute.
It was really cute. It was really, really cute.
And then I
Aw.
won first runner up, and I was like, "Wait, what? No, you're kidding. Like, where's the cameras? I'm getting punked right now."
No, you were great.
So full of piss and vinegar.
So, you still run your own social media, right?
hmm
Mm-hmm.
I run pretty much, so it's more I have assistance with things.
Right. Right.
Um,
So that the
I
messages don't overwhelm you.
Yeah, so it's more like, hey, so these people only like they don't really want the conversation. They don't want, they just want the plug and play and the requests and things like that. And then these people want to talk. So
Right.
like I handle the people who want to talk. They handle the, hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of just
Requests.
insert slot A to tab B or insert tab A to slot B.
Right.
And it helps me be a little more there for the fans that want that more personal. I actually have like folders of who
Right.
goes where.
Yeah.
I run all of my own social media. Most of the time, most of my videos and stuff, like my funny videos, are just taken like minute of. I
Yeah.
don't pre-record anything.
Right.
Editing, what's that?
But that's
I might
more
trim stuff in.
authentic. It's more authentic that way. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, it's definitely like you can get into content farming, you can get into all of those. I learned algorithm times from Jade Jaden,
Mm-hmm.
who's another content creator slash porn star. She's kind of who I like sat and chatted with her again at the resort, and she like was like, "Hey, just try posting. Your content is great. Try posting between these times." And it's
Mm-hmm.
like 5 and 7 p.m. and then like I want to say like 11 and 1
Mm-hmm.
for lunch. Just
Mm-hmm.
try posting between these times. And then all of a sudden, 10 million views on a video. And I was
Mm-hmm.
like, oh, we're here. Hi. Hello, everyone. And now I like get recognized in public, which
Wow.
is,
I don't like that for myself.
yeah, me neither. So there's a reason that like I'm openly poly. I talk about my partners. My partners, you might see like a piece of hair or a hand or something reach into my videos, but I like very much keep their faces out of it
Mm-hmm.
because I want to like respect their privacy,
Mm-hmm.
so they don't get recognized as much. Like obviously my main partner sometimes gets tagged on Facebook because he's on Facebook. We've had people recognize him in public
Mm-hmm.
from my Facebook. Um,
How is
but
it
yeah.
for his other jobs?
They know, like
Okay.
one of his bosses knows everything I do and she thinks it's great. She's like, "Oh, you guys should come out to Cali and like come like hang out." And then like for the convention, like they all know.
Mm-hmm.
They all think it's great.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know if his like main job knows per se. They know I'm a like they think or they consider me an influencer because he works in marketing.
Mhm.
And so they know, like, at peak, I was pulling numbers that they were like, what the fuck? Like, it was topic of conversation because I was like, oh, I have a reach of, 15 million. And they're
Mhm.
like, so can you recreate that for the companies we work for? And I'm like, probably not. Do they have a hot girl?
Do you want not safe?
People.
Do you want not safe for work? Because they
Yeah.
can.
So that was just my safe for work content was reaching
I'm
15
sorry.
million.
I am
Like,
a
it's,
walking OSHA violation.
yeah. Like, all you need is a hard hat. You know,
Say hard just like that. Uh,
hard hat.
yeah.
Oh, well. Yeah, like, fucking hell.
Perfect. Perfect. Do you want to add anything more, Raven? Because it's about time. No, we're good. This was a great
No.
episode. I'm so happy for you. Like I feel like you've really found like what makes you happy and where you're going, and you found your people in life.
Yeah.
And yeah, like I follow your social media. It's always really funny and entertaining and very authentic, and I really appreciate that. Do you want to tell anybody and everybody? I'm sure a lot of people already know who you are, but do you want to tell everybody where to find you, just in case there's some people on the pod that don't already follow you?
Hi, I'm Skylar Calico. You can find me on most socials at Skylar Calico. Other ones are going to be Skylar Calico Live. Some are both. But if you want to find all of those links, you can go to skylarcalico.vip. My merch store is theskylarcalico.com. And if you want to find the really spicy shit, I don't know, just Google me.
There you go. Perfect. And you're going to be at the AVNs this year.
I am going to be at the AVNs. I am going to be there with Transcending. And I'm really
Oh yeah,
excited.
like snaps for transcending, for helping your mental health. There we
And
go.
if you do reach out to them, tell them I sent you.
Okay.
Be
All
like, hey,
right.
I saw
Sounds
Skylar
good.
Calico. Blah, blah, blah.
We'll tag them on here too.
Yeah.
Yes,
Sounds good. All right. Thank you so much for coming on. We love you.
absolutely. I love you guys.
See you
Bye.
soon, everybody.